Let Free the Curse of Taekwondo has been such a beautiful BL. I had talked about this show recently, but the past couple episodes have completely ripped me apart. Emotionally, it has taken me on quite the tailspin, and it is such a beautiful show, but I have to talk about how much I am not liking Dohoe's behavior. I think he's being wickedly cruel right now. He's pissing me off, and I just have to vent about it a little bit. Hi, I'm Monique. I'm the host of Off by Purple Art podcast, where I talk to you about K-dramas, C-dramas, BTS, and so much more. The so much more includes BLs, if you haven't noticed on my podcast as of late. I have been talking about Let Free the Curse of Taekwondo. It is a Korean BL currently airing. If you are not familiar with the show and you're kind of curious, I did do a previous podcast episode about it, but I'm going into spoiler territory for episodes 5 and 6 specifically. I'm glad that the episodes gave us a lot of clarification of what happened in that gap year of 12 years that the two main leads were separated from. I have to say, there's just so much that was breaking me apart. I think one of the most stirring scenes was when Dohoe and Juyeong were kind of having this standstill with one another, where Juyeong was sensing there's so much coldness within Dohoe, but Dohoe was still expressing interest in continuing their relationship as adults, and they segue into one of the most beautiful, bittersweet, and sad lovemaking scenes I have seen in a very long time. And they were juxtaposing that with when they had their first time as teenagers, the youthfulness, the innocence of it all, and their excitement and their joy of coming together. And despite the fact that they had so much trauma built into both their lives, they were able to find this little pocket of happiness within one another, and for all that to basically create this glacial wall between them as adults. And even though they're connecting intimately, there is that level of distance, and Juyeong can sense it a mile away. It was just so heartbreaking for me. Like, that's one of the key scenes that were really poignant to me. But Dohoe in particular has been really cruel, and I'll be honest, I'm not a fan of when there's one character in a relationship that's making all the strides to make the relationship work. I do not appreciate the, being intentionally cold and cruel because you're trying to hide your own inner wounds and pain. And I understand where that's coming from, but Dohoe is really pissing me off with that. And I just feel like Juyeong is getting kicked down like a puppy. Dohoe has been through so much physical and emotional abuse growing up, so it's completely, utterly understandable why he would shut down and run away, and the choices he made all narratively make sense. But just because something narratively makes sense and you can totally empathize with why a character would do such a thing, doesn't still make the actions enjoyable to watch. And I think there's this little level of cruelty in what he's doing, and I get why it's happening, but it's not satisfactory to watch in the moment. But so much of the show is so beautifully done. I have to say, even the third male lead, who I'm not a big fan of that character, and even with his own inner homophobia and him now sticking to Dohoe like glue in his adult years, pathetically trying to capture some type of relationship that Dohoe is just not going to go there with him. The actor is so beautiful, so it's really hard to dislike him, but the character is very cringy, and I cannot stand him. But just the interplay between Dohoe and Juyeong, and the reemergence of Snow, kind of marking back to that time of innocence of their relationship blooming, and getting to see that in the episodes which just recently was just so beautiful and gorgeous and rewarding. But yeah, I have not been happy with Dohoe as of late, yet I still love that character, and I think the actor does such an incredible job in shifting emotions in a blink of an eye. He does so much. Even in his flirtation with Juyeong, there is such a charged element to it beyond the seduction factor. Like, you just feel like you're on tenterhooks as an audience watching this, because he's about to blow. Like, there's so much internalized wounds, and I get it. I understand the girlies that are watching the show and are like, you guys don't understand Dohoe, you guys attack him too much. But it's just not nice to see play out. I just don't enjoy the dynamic of one person constantly having to do the apologizing and be the bigger person, and the other person gets away with pretty abhorrent behavior, even though it's completely understandable why they're doing the things that they are. I'm just not a fan of that, and I just had to spit that out real quick. But the show is still so gorgeous. It's so moving. I think it's going to be one of my top favorite BLs of this year, honest to God. Like, The Only One and Unknown have been top tier for me, this show too. But there's just so much little pieces into it that I'm just hoping that they stick the landing for the remaining episodes, and that Dohoe can kind of come to a Hail Mary moment and just kind of relax. Even, like, I have to say this, even the necklace and the significance of the necklace and Juyeong taking it off and the little snide comment that Dohoe made towards that as well. Oh, there's so much to bite into this show, but I'm gonna leave it at that. I don't have much space on my camera anymore, but I just had to spit that out because it's been on the back of my mind. Anyways, if you're watching via YouTube, let me know your thoughts below. If you're listening via Spotify or Apple Podcasts, I love you. I appreciate y'all. And until the next episode, I'm going to keep watching Let Free the Curse of Taekwondo. I'm really loving the show. It is a visual feast, and it's just so evocative and emotionally moving. Yeah, the characters do stuff that kind of really piss you off, but everything together just makes a beautiful character study. But Dohoe, do better, man. That's all up. That's it. Bye.